Wasteland Commander. Chapter 1. The end is coming. Yi Fan is a person who knows how to enjoy himself. The so-called self-enjoyment means that you can have fun by yourself. If it sounds good, it's called self-pleasure. If it sounds bad, it's heartless. I don't know what is sadness and what is anger. As long as you give him a mobile phone or a computer, he can temporarily forget all his worries and enter his own world. However, being happy does not mean being brainless. In fact, Yi Fan is very smart. Just because he was admitted to the Industrial University in City H is enough to prove that he, a seemingly inconspicuous person, has a high IQ. His being able to go to school can be regarded as a proud ancestor in his family. His hometown is in a township in S City, and he is definitely considered a highly educated person in the town. Leaving his parents to study in H City, Yi Fan did not live on campus. Instead, he found an old-fashioned rental building with a small bungalow outside the school, which was convenient for going to school and working part-time at the same time. The family conditions are not very good, and Yi Fan earns half of his schooling expenses by working. Going to school, working, and playing games, this is basically Yi Fan's entire life. Don't ask for money from your family, and try your best not to ask for money. My parents are both working hard, and their salary is not high. I also have a sister who is a sophomore in high school and is also in school, so the conditions are not well off. But this time, Yi Fan could no longer hold on. In the military training after the university started, Yi Fan performed well. Children from rural areas have poor physical fitness. In addition, he is also willing to exercise. On the way to school and work, Yi Fan relies on running. Compared with urban young people of the same age, his physique is definitely excellent. But on the last day of military training, Yi Fan was injured and sprained his foot while competing for first place. It is more serious, and it needs to be raised at least a week. He was fixed in the school doctor's office and given some bone-setting medicine, and was sent back to the rental building by his classmates. You may be able to recover faster in the hospital, but the cost is too high. Yi Fan has some food in the rental building. Food is expensive nowadays. A basket of steamed dumplings and rice porridge costs more than 10 yuan. He basically cooks and eats by himself. After returning home, Yi Fan had a rare period of rest and became a homebody. The house is only over 30 square meters. Nowadays, new buildings rarely have such a small house. In addition to the bedroom, kitchen and bathroom, there is only a small living room. There is no TV in the living room, just a computer. The refrigerator at home belongs to the landlord, and only this computer belongs to Yi Fan himself. It is an old-fashioned chassis and a second-hand LCD screen. The price is very low, but the configuration of the chassis is pretty good and the game can be played smoothly. The hard drive contains many single-player games that Yi Fan has downloaded. Playing online games now is a waste of time, and you don't have to spend money to become a VIP. You are basically being abused. Yi Fan doesn't like the feeling of being abused, so he rarely plays online games. Playing a single game in your spare time can also be considered as relaxing. Holding a mop pole in his hand, Yi Fan limped to the chair in front of the computer. Opening the web page, Yi Fan saw the news that had flooded the screen in the past few days. Dear viewers, according to meteorological reports, the meteor shower from the Andromeda Nebula will continue to come, and can be clearly observed in the coastal areas of our country. The meteor shower has lasted for 3 days, which is unique in the entire history of Blue Sea Star. The last meteor shower of this scale may have been traced back to the Cretaceous period. The meteor shower started appearing 3 days ago. There were no particularly large meteorites and they would not cause any impact on the ground of Blue Sea Star, so no countries around the world took any countermeasures. But Yi Fan felt that there was always a faint sour smell in the air these days, and he didn't know if it had something to do with the meteor shower. Browsing the forums I usually read, many people are discussing meteor showers these days. I'm on the southern coast, and watching the meteor shower here at night is particularly beautiful. I don't know what's going on. My dog has been very irritable these days. He doesn't like to eat and keeps barking. I don't know if it's in estrus. I'm looking for a female dog. I'm waiting online. My home address is XXXX. They say that if you make a wish when you see a shooting star, it will come true, but there are so many shooting stars these days, what if the wish is obviously not enough? Yi Fan was a little bored after watching it for a while, and he didn't want to use his mobile phone to team up with others to play black games. He might as well play a game on the hard disk. There were many game icons on the desktop, and he clicked on the red alert icon. This is a second-generation game called Glory of Nations, in which you can choose various countries to fight. As a person from Qin and Han dynasties, Yi Fan's favorite language is also Qin and Han dynasties. This country has several superior arms. One is the Black Hawk fighter jet, one is the Apocalypse main station tank, one is the aircraft carrier, and the other is the army soldier. Fighters have strong bombing capabilities. Although the cost is high, a fighter formation can destroy any building. The main station tank also has the highest cost, but it has both ground attack and air defense capabilities. It is the absolute king of one-on-one land combat. An aircraft carrier can carry up to 10 bombers and allow them to get close to the land, which is a nightmare for land construction. Army soldiers are the most cost-effective unit. Especially after rising to a star, ground combat is simply a bug. There are many other arms that Yi Fan likes. Each country has its own advantages, but it is sometimes very helpless to only choose one country. Start the game and create a map. Let's take an extreme challenge. The biggest map has all the countries. They are ruthless enemies with super weapons. Let's see how many minutes I can hold on. Yi Fan has never passed this game mode. The only fun is to see how long he can persist. The game started, and Yi Fan immediately operated quickly, placing base vehicles, building power plants, mining, and building barracks. Just did it twice, and an accident happened. The sky outside the window was bright. It is now 12 o'clock at noon. It is a bit cloudy today, but it is very bright now. The brightness is abnormal. Yi Fan looked up out of the window in surprise and found that the entire sky was occupied by a dense meteor shower. What happened? A strong sour smell swept over him. Even if Yi Fan closed the window, he couldn't stop it and filled the air. The strong stinging pain penetrated into his mind, and Yi Fan couldn't help but lower his head suddenly, biting his lip until it bled. But the pain was unstoppable, and it only lasted for a few seconds before Yi Fan fainted. Before he passed out, he instinctively grabbed the mouse in one hand and pressed the keyboard with the other hand. He fell to the ground and overturned the computer. The power supply of the old-fashioned rental building was exposed. When the computer was turned over, a spark flashed, and light blue current rushed to Yi Fan. By the time Yi Fan woke up, 10 hours had passed. What's going on? Rubbing his bruised forehead, he could barely recall what happened before the fall. I was playing games, and then suddenly a large meteor shower fell, and a sour smell came in, and I couldn't remember anything. My head hurts a little, and my feet hurt even more. The sprained ankle hurt even more. As soon as Yi Fan touched his ankle, he saw that his computer had been smashed to pieces. The computer monitor looked as if it had been burned by fire. It was pitch black and scorched. The power cord was pulled out of the wall. It looked like it was caused by a fall. No, I don't know if the leakage protector has tripped. If there is a short circuit, it will be troublesome. It's not a big deal if the computer breaks down. It's not worth anything anyway. If the circuit burns out, the landlord will be responsible for repairing it. Yi Fan raised his head and saw that the light was on, and felt a little more at ease. What's wrong? Your reaction is slow? While looking at the light, he also saw the clock on the wall. The time should be 11 o'clock in the evening. He reluctantly got up, stood up and went to the window to look down, because he felt that something was wrong today. The voice-activated light in the courtyard of the community was on. Through the light, he saw that the community was in a mess. Some battery cars and bicycles belonging to nearby neighbors were lying on the ground in a mess. Pieces of bright red blood almost covered the yard like splashed ink, and there were even some broken limbs and white bones with flesh and blood hanging on them. Some scraps of newspapers and plastic bags were flying in the air, but otherwise there was almost no movement. What is going on? A murder scene? But this scene is too big. Yi Fan didn't think about calling the police immediately. He wanted to find out what was going on. Open your eyes and look carefully. In a corner, a group of people were lying there, as if they were eating. His eyesight was good and he could clearly see the person in the corner who had been eaten until almost all he had left was his feet. One of them grabbed a piece of flesh and roared excitedly. The mutilated cheek and the bloodstains on his face proved that he was no longer a human being. A cold air rushed straight to his forehead, and Yi Fan shrank back into the room. This scene, Resident Evil. As a college student in the new era, Yi Fan has naturally seen many similar videos. The people eating now are clearly zombies. He didn't think this was a joke or a prank game. No one would create such a big scene to prank a student of his. All of this was true. After a brief panic, he became worried. He immediately took out his cell phone and called his parents. The phone cannot be reached. Calling my sister, I also couldn't get through. I took out my mobile phone and looked at it. The 4G signal on it has changed to 2G, which is almost equivalent to no signal. In the end, this kind of thing will really happen, it's bad. Yi Fan was a little nervous, but he forced himself to calm down. Being nervous now would not help. Trying to calm down his breathing and heartbeat, he knew that he should be a survivor in his current situation. There is no internet and no knowledge of the outside world. What should you do next? Although he didn't have a clue for a while, he gradually calmed down. Just when his heartbeat returned to normal, a voice suddenly sounded in his head. Brainwave analysis, normal. Heartbeat analysis, normal. Blood pressure analysis, normal. Meets the binding conditions. Locked the candidate for commander. Blood type binding, DNA binding. Binding successful. Confirmed to have the highest command authority. Yi Fan was stunned. The voice came out very strangely. There was no one else in the room, but everything was clearly audible. It was still a female voice that sounded very elegant. Who is it? I am your personal secretary and assistant Nana, good evening. Your Excellency, the handsome lame commander. Lijiakin, 151858250, who likes this book. Issues such as base construction, unit naming, and scientific and technological research and development are currently under heated discussion. Chapter 2 Commander's Gift Pack. Yi Fan was a little dumbfounded, this kind of thing was too fantasy. The female voice named Nana came too suddenly, making it difficult for him to accept it. At one point, he even thought he was hallucinating. If it weren't for the lame commander's words, which were undoubtedly talking about himself, then he might have thought he was dreaming at this moment. The end is coming, and there is a female voice calling herself handsome, commander. It's really incredible. Nana? What did you call me? Handsome commander? I can understand being handsome. What's the matter with commander? Your Excellency, commander, first of all, I want to congratulate you. Your actions inadvertently inspired the unique Red Alert system. My existence was born based on this system. It was you who gave me life. Myself and all future members of the Red Alert unit will have infinite loyalty to you. Red Alert system, you mean, the game I played? Yes, the Red Alert system cuts into reality and exists in your mind. You are the supreme commander of this system. I think I understand something. Yi Fan first pinched his ankle. The bone-piercing pain made him sure that this was not a dream, and he quickly realized it. When he was unconscious, the Red Alert system entered his mind. He had the highest command authority of the Red Police and became the commander. Does that mean that you can build a Red Alert base and create combat units? When he raised this question, Nana gave the answer. Handsome lame. Stop, delete the word lame, this is only temporary. Yi Fan immediately corrected him. As you wish, handsome commander. Although I have never heard the word handsome used by others before. It sounded pleasant, but Yi Fan still felt it was too wordy. Make it simpler. Okay, let me call you sir. Sir, the Red Alert system has been implanted in your DNA, but there are some changes. What are the changes? First of all, the production units have more options than in the game. They are added based on the actual situation of your country. They are much richer than the original production units. For example, tank options are no longer limited to Rhino tanks and Apocalypse tanks, but are adjusted according to the country you are in. Other infantry units, Air Force units, and naval units have all been adjusted. For example, the aircraft carrier will be modified according to the actual aircraft carrier, and the maximum production option will be adjusted to a super aircraft carrier that can carry 95 aircraft of various types. Hearing this, Yifan couldn't help but his eyes lit up. Can I give birth now? Not yet. The red alert system will start operating from the lowest level. As the combat units under your command gradually increase, sir, the first level permissions will be unlocked bit by bit, and I will be able to provide you with more help. Then what authority do I have now? The commander currently has the authority of the squad leader. When the number of your combat units exceeds the establishment of a squad, you will be promoted to the authority of the platoon leader. Yifan still knows a little about the combat organization of the Qin and Han dynasties. There are 8 combat members in a squad, which means that he only needs to produce 8 soldiers. No, when he produces 9 soldiers, he can increase his authority. Then produce 8 army soldiers for me. Commander, because the current conditions cannot build the physical building of Red Alert, the virtual building system option is currently enabled. You can check it in the command panel. This time Yifan was smarter. He thought about the command panel silently in his mind, and sure enough, there was an extra pattern in his field of vision. Just like the screen in the game, there are 4 blank fields, namely the main building, defensive building, soldier page, and machine page. The main building refers to the units that can be produced after the Red Alert base vehicle is deployed, including power plants, barracks, tank factories, air command units, etc. Defensive buildings include walls, sentry guns, prism towers, spy satellites, super weapons, etc. Soldier pages are various types of military units, such as conscripts, army soldiers, SEALs, engineers, police dogs, spies, etc. The machinery page includes various tanks, aircraft, artillery, and ships. After coming in, Yifan discovered that the deployment situation was basically the same as what he had in the game. He has just started the game. After opening the base vehicle, he built a power plant, a barracks, and a mining field. Before he could build anything else, the end came and the game was powered off. However, there is no main screen in the game now, it only shows the units he can produce. The main buildings that can continue to be constructed include power plants, barracks, and radars. He already has the first 2, and the only one that can be added now is radar. The defense page has only 1 wall. The soldier page has only 1 mobilized soldier. Because the chariot factory has not been built, chariots cannot yet be produced. Yifan looked at it for a while and felt that something was wrong. Nana, why is there no mining site? Sir, there are no minerals in the virtual world, so the mining farm cannot be constructed. Yifan was a little helpless. Since it couldn't be built, he shouldn't build it yet. Looked at the cost of the radar, it was 5,000 gold. It's not the same as in the game, it seems that adjustments have been made. The only combat unit that can be produced is the mobilization unit, which requires 100 gold. Then let's produce 8 mobilization soldiers first. Sir, you don't have the funds now, so you can't produce it for the time being. No, where are my funds? Isn't there still a few thousand gold in the game? Game funds are used for system improvement, and in the real world, game funds cannot be used. The commander must collect the funds by himself. Go and collect it yourself? Do you need cash? According to the resources of the Red Alert world, the chief needs to obtain precious metals. Gold, platinum, silver, and various gemstones and jade can all be used in the Red Alert world. Paper money is worthless here. Nana continued to introduce to Yifan, 1 gold in the system is 1 gram of gold in the real world. Sir, please pay attention to collecting it. Yifan was suddenly dumbfounded. I want gold and silver, but I don't have any. He feels that this system is a bit flawed. He is now a lame young man, and he is still very poor. Where can he get gold and silver? Even if you have the courage to fight zombies, you don't have the strength now. Nana seemed to have been prepared for this. Sir, don't worry, you still have the commander's gift bag to receive. Gift bag? Yifan looked at the game interface, and sure enough he found something in the shape of a baggage flashing in the lower right corner. As soon as I thought about receiving it, a package immediately appeared in the real world. This gift pack is also generated based on your game funds after the revision. As the commander's red alert system continues to upgrade, the gift pack will also be upgraded and appear. Now you have the squad leader gift pack. Yi Fan was a little excited. He took the gift bag to the only single sofa in the room and placed the gift bag on the coffee table. After opening it, there are a lot of things inside. The first thing that comes into view is a set of clothes, a pair of shoes, and a hat and belt. Is this a camouflage uniform? Open it and a row of data will appear automatically. Commander's uniform, squad leader level based on the commander's physical characteristics. It has slight protective capabilities and can resist the claws of zombies. The camouflage uniform was very new and did not feel heavy in his hand. Seeing this introduction, Yi Fan tore it hard. His physical strength was pretty good, but there was no sign of it being broken at all. And this camouflage uniform also has epaulets, which are silver crossed rifles with a thick folding bar and a thin folding bar. Sir, because you have the authority of a squad leader, you will be given the highest sergeant shoulder badge. When you are promoted to the authority of a platoon leader, the shoulder badge will become a lieutenant badge. Although he hasn't put on this dress yet, Yi Fan, who is particularly interested in military training, knows that this dress is definitely not simple and looks good. And the quality is also beyond imagination. It is indeed a system product and not shoddy. In addition to clothes, there is also a military satchel. When he opened the satchel and took a look, it gave him a deep feeling. Why can't you see the bottom of this satchel? Commander's luggage, squad leader level. It has a cubic meter of space, can be carried without feeling the burden of weight, and has the function of preserving food. The preservation capacity is equivalent to that of an ordinary refrigerator. It is anti-theft and cannot be used by others. Yi Fan was surprised, then overjoyed. This thing can be compared to a space ring, with a cubic meter of space. This is not a satchel, but a giant suitcase. He has read apocalyptic novels and movies and knows what a cubic meter of space means. The products produced by the system are all of high quality. Yi Fan sighed with emotion, and his eyes fell on a gun again. That's a revolver. Commander's gun, squad leader level type 05 police revolver, with 6 rounds of ammunition, no magazine, automatically refreshed every 24 hours, and the bullets are automatically filled. Power, there was once a dog that couldn't be killed with 6 guns. Experience, but when dealing with people or zombies, it is easier to hit the vital points. Yi Fan knew that this kind of gun, used by the police, had long been eliminated and became a collection. Its power was really not worth mentioning, and it was the kind of gun that was criticized. Many people even say that it is better to use an 8-pronged slingshot with this thing. Of course, that is a bit nonsense, but it also shows the difference between this gun. But for a young man who had never actually owned a gun, this thing was a real thing. And the ammunition is automatically refreshed 24 hours a day, which gives Yi Fan a lot more confidence in the future. The products produced by the system are not all high-quality products. Muttered something in his heart, he looked at the last thing. That's a car key. Nana spoke at this time. Because the building where the officer is located is inconvenient for parking, when this key appears, the officer's car will be automatically parked downstairs. Yi Fan felt happy and picked up the car key to see what brand it was. Commander's vehicle, squad leader level Jiaoling JH600B military sidecar motorcycle, with 2 passengers and 1 driver. A light machine gun can be placed in the co-pilot position. Any combat unit can be used as the driver. It is of high quality and not easy to be damaged. You can use system gold coins to repair automatically, or engineers to repair. Seeing this, Yi Fan almost spat out a mouthful of blood. This is the end of the world, and the streets are full of zombies. Why on earth do you want me to ride a sidecar motorcycle? Chapter 3 Going Out. Yi Fan ran to the window and took a look, and sure enough he saw a motorcycle parked downstairs. The body is green and grass, with a sidecar in the driving position. It looks much larger than ordinary motorcycles. The workmanship is square, and you can tell at a glance that the quality is very good. In the past, Yi Fan might have been watching this motorcycle on the street, but now he was no longer in that mood. In a zombie-infested apocalypse, motorcycles are really not a safe means of transportation. My legs and feet can't ride a motorcycle for the time being. Sir, there is a small medical kit in your military satchel, which is suitable for use now. Yi Fan hurriedly opened his satchel, thinking about the medical box, and the box appeared. A small, boxy box, white with green stripes, opened with a slight press. Inside were bandages, hemostatic medicine, anti-swelling and blood stasis medicine, anti-inflammatory medicine, syringes, and a bottle of something that looked like a red gel. Commander's medical kit, squad leader level. It includes some common medicines that can treat simple injuries, and also includes a bottle of antiviral serum that can save humans before they enter 50% of zombie transformation. Note: drugs are refreshed every 24 hours, and one bottle of antiviral serum is refreshed every 48 hours. The quantities cannot be superimposed. Seeing this serum, Yi Fan felt happy. This is a good thing. Although he has not come into contact with the zombies outside, he also knows that the zombies' biggest weapon is infection. Once you are scratched or bitten by a zombie, you will soon turn into a zombie. This serum can actually drive away zombie viruses. There is almost nothing better than this in the end of the world. As for those ordinary medicines, they are also of great use. Sir, these ordinary medicines are ordinary to others, but as the Supreme Commander, you use the medicines in the medical box to increase the recovery effect by 200%. Now you can bandage your ankles. Yi Fan's ankle pain is a problem. He can't go out and fight loss, let alone look for gold and silver. The medical kit arrived just in time. He took out the medicine and applied it to his ankle, then wrapped it with a bandage. A cool feeling came from his ankle, and soon he felt less pain. Hey! This is really amazing. Yi Fan lifted his feet. Although he had not recovered yet, he was able to walk around without using a mop for support. Originally, it was estimated that the injury would take close to a week to recover, but it would probably be fully recovered within a day or two. Is this black technology that belongs to Red Alert? This is the special authority of the commander. Yi Fan nodded, feeling excited in his heart. At the end of the world, this system will undoubtedly be able to transform itself. His foot was fine and he put on his uniform. The camouflage uniform fits him very well. Yi Fan has a pretty good figure. He is 1.81 meters tall and has well-shaped muscles. When he puts on this uniform, he smells hormonal. No wonder the military uniform is the most suitable attire for men. It's really good. It's much better than the one during military training. As for the hat, and then look at the epaulets on the shoulders, the thick armed belt around the waist, and the big leather shoes with military hooks on the feet, Yi Fan felt so beautiful in his heart. Although he is not a real sergeant squad leader, he looks very comfortable. The only drawback is that he is just a commander and has no subordinates. Yi Fan wanted to collect gold and silver immediately to make mobilization troops, but he was still very cautious. Based on what I saw downstairs, zombies are definitely not easy to deal with. There is no fear, no pain, you can't kill him without hitting him on the head, and he can also spread the virus. As a person whose ankle has not fully recovered, he must be extra careful. Hand touched the revolver on his waist. This gun with only 6 bullets did not give him a complete sense of security. I must prepare some more weapons. He came to the kitchen. There were no heavy weapons at home. The most destructive weapons were a machete for cutting bones and a dagger. The machete is heavy in the hand, but it is not likely to be too lethal to zombies. After rummaging around the house for a long time, he found another steel pipe. It should be leftover from previous renovations. It was more than 1 meter long. Yi Fan took out a dagger and installed it on it for a long time. He polished it and tied it up. More than an hour later, he finally made a temporary spear. This dagger is a Mongolian knife. The workmanship is pretty good, but I don't know if it can pierce the skull of a zombie. Yi Fan did not go out immediately. His ankle was not fully healed yet and he still needed to rest. He rummaged around the house and found some food, including 12 packs of instant noodles, 4 kilograms of rice, a dozen eggs, and some sausages and pickled mustard. We need to get some water. After a while, the tap water may be contaminated. While there was water and electricity, Yi Fan picked up the electric kettle and boiled 20 pots of water. After the water was dried, it was poured into a bucket containing mineral water. This bucket is directly stored in the military satchel, and the 1 cubic meter of space inside is perfectly utilized. He boiled water and cooked 3 packs of instant noodles, added 4 poached eggs and a sausage. Yi Fan always had a relatively large appetite. In the past, I felt like vomiting after eating instant noodles every day, but this time I tasted it and it felt extra delicious. Maybe it's the end of the world, and people are becoming more easily satisfied. After eating, Yi Fan first set the alarm clock on his mobile phone, and the time was set for 10 in the morning. The reason why this time is set is because the bullet refresh time given by the red alert system is 12 noon every day. Lying in bed, I miss my parents at home and my sister who is in school. I don't know how they are doing now. When I have the strength to leave here, I must go find them. No matter what, I want to confirm whether they are still alive. Thinking in his heart, Yi Fan, who was a little heartless, fell asleep. By the time the alarm clock rang, it was already 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. When Yi Fan got up, he was stunned for a while, then suddenly jumped out of bed, came to the window and looked out. Desolate, desolate, bloody, and dead. The grey world told him that everything he experienced yesterday was not a dream. Just when I was feeling a little heavy, Nana's voice sounded, "Good morning, sir." "Morning, Anna. Sir's foot has basically recovered." "Hey, it's true." Yi Fan really didn't feel the pain in his feet anymore. After a few activities, it was no big deal, and his mood improved. "Sir, please collect gold and silver as soon as possible to start the production of combat units, unlock buildings, defenses, technology arms, etc. You also need to upgrade your military rank to unlock them." "Okay." Yi Fan took a deep breath. He had never faced a zombie before, but he knew that he had to go through this step. In the end of the world, if you don't even have the courage to face zombies, you are not qualified to live. He had already thought about collecting gold and silver when he went to bed yesterday. Gold and silver are mainly concentrated in 2 places, one is a bank vault, and the other is a jewelry store in a shopping mall. But he doesn't have the ability to open the bank vault. Maybe one day he can blow it open when a tank is built, but it certainly can't be done now. The jewelry stores in shopping malls are all located in the most prosperous and crowded places. With more people, there will be more zombies. In addition, the virus outbreak occurred at noon, which is when there are the most people. Yi Fan estimates that there will be very few living people in all shopping mall areas at this time. With his current ability as a commander, it is impossible to go to the shopping mall area. Apart from banks and shopping malls, the only things he can think of are residents' homes. Who among modern women does not carry some gold and silver jewelry? A ring may weigh more than 10 grams, and a necklace and bracelet may weigh dozens of grams. If you find a diamond ring, it will be even more valuable. Nana introduced to him that silver, gold, and diamonds are all based on the decimal system. 1 gram of silver is equal to 0.1 gold, and 1 gram of gold is equal to 1 gold. 1 carat of diamond is equal to 10 pieces of gold. 1 carat is equal to 0.2 grams, and 1 gram of diamond is actually equal to 50 gold. In addition, gems, jade, and jade are also valuable and are more expensive than gold. If you are lucky, you can find the gold and silver needed to mobilize an army in one household. Although the conscript is the weakest combat unit in the Red Alert game, he is still a soldier. Looking at his revolver, Yi Fan felt that as a commander, it would be better not to appear in person. The only problem is that today's security doors are very annoying. Every house has its doors closed, making it difficult to get in. However, Yi Fan knew that there were 2 couples living together upstairs in his house. They liked to drink with the door open every day and were so noisy that he couldn't sleep. He didn't know if the door was open now. "Let's go. If you don't enter the tiger's den, you won't catch the tiger's cubs. It's just a knife, go and have a look." Yi Fan first heard that there was no movement in the corridor, put away what he should bring, and then quietly pushed the door open a crack. Chapter 4: Hunting Zombies. As soon as the door opened, Yi Fan felt the pungent smell of blood. Someone died in the corridor. He suddenly became alert. Someone mutated in the corridor and killed other people. Otherwise, there would not be such a strong smell of blood. Zombies usually just wander around unconsciously when nothing is found. This means that the zombies are still in the corridor. Yi Fan lives on the 5th floor. He has 1 floor above and 3 floors below. He first leaned out half of his body in front of the door and looked up. There was no movement above. He looked down through the gap in the stairs again. From this perspective, there is none on the 4th floor and none on the 3rd floor. Listen carefully, there seems to be the sound of shuffling footsteps. Either on the 2nd floor or on the 1st floor. Knowing that the zombies were a little far away from him, Yi Fan became more courageous, opened the door, and started to tiptoe upstairs. The door is unlocked, leaving yourself a way out. Arrived in front of the door on the 6th floor, Yi Fan felt happy. Sure enough, the door on the 6th floor was unlocked and there was a slight gap. I listened close to the door, but no one spoke inside. This is not necessarily a good thing. The door is open, which proves that there was definitely someone there before. Now that no one is talking, it means he has become a zombie. There are 4 people upstairs. I don't know how many of them were at home during the day yesterday. If they were all at home, I would have been hit by a gun this time. Hold the homemade spear in both hands, and open the holster of the revolver. Yi Fan opened the door carefully. Zia. The old Tongzi building is in disrepair and makes a loud sound when opening the door. Although Yi Fan only opened it a little, he still instinctively felt that something was wrong. But he can't retreat. Now that he has retreated, he doesn't know when he will have the courage to face the zombies again. With 1 foot halfway against the door, leaving a gap, Yi Fan held a spear in both hands and stared nervously into the room. The sound of footsteps came from indoors. When the zombies really appeared, Yi Fan felt nervous and nauseated. What he saw last night was not very clear and not so intuitive, but what he saw now was different. A young woman in her 20s or 5s appeared upstairs, wearing pajamas and walking unsteadily. This girl used to be considered young and beautiful, but her voice was loud every night, which made the young Yi Fan often have trouble sleeping. But now, her youthful beauty can no longer be seen. Her pale face is more oozing than a ghost, her hair is disheveled, and there are ulcers on her face, and her flesh and blood are blurred, which are corroded by the virus. The nails on a pair of claws are very long, and Yi Fan can still see the meat residue in the gaps between the nails, which may be caused by scratching his own body. Seeing Yi Fan from the crack in the door, the woman roared like a wild beast, her pace quickened a little, and she rushed towards the door. Calm down, it's no big deal. You are a red police commander. How can you command thousands of troops if you can't handle even 1 female zombie? Hands holding the spear tightly, 1 person and 1 zombie came into contact through the door. Gudong. Unexpectedly, people become much stronger after turning into zombies. Yi Fan was knocked staggered by the zombies through the door. Seeing that the zombies were about to come out of the door, Yi Fan gritted his teeth and held a spear in both hands. Go to hell. The spear went straight to the zombie's eye socket, because Yi Fan knew that there was no bone obstruction here, so it was easier to assassinate. But he still overestimated his strength and had never practiced in this area. Even if he was stronger, it would not be easy for him to stab so accurately. The dagger on the steel pipe passed through the cheek, bringing up a piece of flesh and blood, but it had no effect on the zombie. Stretched out his stiff arms and pushed the door hard, it was already halfway open. In nervousness, Yi Fan didn't care much and took out his revolver. The distance between him and the zombies is only more than 1 meter. If he misses at this distance, he can just find a piece of tofu and hit him to death. Aim at the zombie's head and fire. Bang! 1 shot hit the zombie in the mouth. Black blood splashed out, and the zombie leaned back violently. No, I should hit the brain, not the mouth. Yi Fan adjusted his mentality, raised his hand and fired again. The aim was accurate this time, right between the eyebrows. This revolver is indeed a bit rubbish. It didn't blow out the brain at such a close range, but the bullet penetrated the zombie's mind. The red light quickly disappeared in the zombie's scarlet eyes. The stiff body also softened and fell to the ground with a thud. When the claw fell, it almost scratched Yi Fan's face. Yi Fan couldn't help but break out in cold sweat. It was really dangerous. At this moment, the sound of going upstairs came from the stairs downstairs. Yi Fan looked down from above and saw that 2 zombies had reached the 4th floor. Damn it, the sound of fighting was heard by the zombies downstairs, and the sound of gunshots can easily attract zombies. It's not particularly easy to deal with two zombies together. I need to hide quickly. It was too late to return to the 5th floor now, and Yi Fan did not forget his purpose. He simply opened the door and entered the 6th floor, then locked the door. As soon as he locked the door, Yi Fan looked inside the bedroom and saw another male zombie walking out of it. This zombie was also wearing pajamas, and Yi Fan could also see that it had headphones on its ears. After seeing Yi Fan, the zombies roared and pounced towards him. No wonder this zombie didn't appear just now, because the headphones blocked its ears, and the sound of the door opening did not alarm it, but the sound of gunfire alarmed it. But having just killed a zombie, Yi Fan became more courageous. This time he did not shoot immediately, but held the spear with both hands and stabbed it out. He missed and ran to the living room. He circled the dining table in the living room and circled the zombie. Zombies are really low intelligence and slow. As long as you overcome the fear in your heart and don't get jumped, they are easy to deal with. After dozens of turns back and forth, Yi Fan finally mastered some of the essentials of firing the gun, and the landing point became more and more accurate. Die. Hold the steel pipe with both hands, use all your strength, and stab the eye socket with one shot. Blood and some white stuff burst out, and the zombie fell on its back. Yi Fan let out a long breath and felt that his clothes were almost soaked. There was a violent banging at the door, and the two zombies outside had already arrived in front of the door. But when it came to breaking down the security door, the zombies were still a little behind, so Yi Fan ignored him and started working immediately. Platinum bracelet. The first thing he saw was a white bracelet on the arm of the female zombie. If it were made of platinum, this bracelet would weigh at least 30 grams. Yi Fan was overjoyed and immediately walked over, carefully avoiding the zombie's nails, and took off the bracelet from its arm. Dee. Sir, we found a rare metal that can be converted into game money. Do you want to convert it? Nana's voice sounded. Transform immediately. Yi Fan immediately gave the order. The transformation was successful. Congratulations to Sir for winning 3 gold medals. What? 3 golds, shouldn't they be 30 golds? Yi Fan was stunned for a moment. Platinum and gold were 1-to-1. The chief received 30 grams of silver and converted them into 3 golds in proportion. Silver. Yi Fan is a little regretful, but when he thinks about it, it's almost the same. There are not many people who can live in this tube building. A 30-gram platinum bracelet is still a bit luxurious. Yi Fan was not discouraged, and soon discovered that the female zombie was wearing earrings. This time it is platinum, and the 2 earrings are converted into 12 gold. The male zombie had no jewelry, so he entered the bedroom to look for it. After half an hour, I turned the bedroom upside down and finally found something. This time, Yi Fan found a gold bracelet, a platinum necklace, and a gold ring. The number of grams is not large, but together they also obtained 54 gold. Including the previous 15 golds, Yi Fan already had 69 golds. Is it gone? After rummaging through it for a while, it was confirmed that there was nothing left. Yi Fan was a little regretful, as he was still short of 31 gold, which was not easy to deal with. The sound of banging on the door outside became louder and louder. Yi Fan came to the door and looked out through the peephole. He saw 2 other zombies, which were another couple in this room. It is estimated that when the 2 lovers came back from going out, the mutation started when they walked downstairs. There was a door left for him upstairs, but they never had the chance to come in. Facing 2 zombies at the same time, Yi Fan was a little unsure. When he was hesitating, he saw a gold bracelet and a diamond ring on the female zombie's hand. Chapter 5 Mobilizing Soldiers Wang Hu. Seeing the gold bracelet and diamond ring on this woman's hand, Yi Fan was moved. Since I was stuck on the 6th floor and couldn't get out, I decided to fight these 2 zombies. After killing them, your gold amount will definitely exceed 100, and you can produce your first combat unit. Facing 2 zombies, the spear might not be useful, so Yi Fan took out the revolver again. There are 4 bullets inside, which should be enough for accurate shooting. The table was first moved to the door to block the zombie's path. Yi Fan stretched out his hand and opened the door. A sharp push. 2 zombies appeared in front of us. These 2 zombies have eaten flesh and blood, and their bodies are and bloody. They are as terrifying as they come. When they saw Yi Fan, they immediately rushed forward with their claws and teeth, pushing the table forward with their bodies. Yi Fan decisively raised his gun, aimed at the male zombie first, and shot. Bang bang. He planned to shoot 2 and 1, but he ignored the zombie's waving arms. The first shot of the 2 shots hit the arm and the second shot hit the face, but they did not cause fatal injuries. The 2 zombies worked together to squeeze the table away. Yi Fan hurriedly fired again. This time his aim was more accurate, and he shot the male zombie in the forehead. Kill with 1 shot. He once again aimed at the female zombie and fired a shot, but the flailing arms were really annoying, and he missed it a little. What happened? I performed well during military training, but now I am too nervous. There is also a problem with the accuracy of this gun. There were no bullets in his hand. Yi Fan wanted to pick up a spear, but the female zombie was already in front of him. It was too late. Yi Fan hurriedly backed away. This house was not big, and the only bigger place was the living room. Zombies and zombies were running around the room. Yi Fan relied on his good health and kept running in circles to avoid them, but the danger was still there. Stab it. The zombie's claws scratched his back, and Yi Fan even felt pain. But when I touched it casually, I found that the skin was not broken, but there was a gaping hole in the clothes. Thanks to this dress, ordinary clothes are in danger. Hand in hand, he continued to run with the pistol. Seeing that there was no way to escape, Nana suddenly gave a voice prompt in his mind. Sir, the 12 o'clock refresh time is up, clothes are restored. Bullets are restored. Yi Fan was delighted. This was the benefit of the commander's equipment. He had bullets again. Raising the pistol, this time Yi Fan showed his true level. Hold your gun calmly, aim quickly, and hit the head with 1 shot. Bang. The female zombie fell on her back and died on the spot. It's so dangerous. Fortunately, it was almost 11 o'clock when I came out, just in time for the refresh. Yi Fan lay stretched out on the ground tiredly and rested for a few minutes before his breath finally calmed down. In the past, he paid attention to exercise, and he was actually quite good at running, but now he understood that running between life and death was completely different from that. There was no time to adjust my breathing, and I was extremely nervous. After running for such a long time, I was extremely tired. After calming down, Yi Fan came to the female zombie. Took off the gold bracelet and diamond ring, Nana immediately prompted. Dee. I found a rare metal that can be converted into money. Do you want to convert it? Transformation. If I don't say anything about it from now on, everything will be transformed automatically. Understood. The transformation was successful, and I received 48 gold. Yi Fan looked at the virtual page, and sure enough, his money amount had reached 117. In these 48 coins, there are 33 units of gold, 7 units of platinum, and 8 units of diamonds. It's not easy. I finally collected 100 gold. Sir, you can train a conscript. Do you want to train? Train immediately. Yi Fan saw that on the soldier page, the mobilization icon rotated in a circle. This is the production progress. Production is completed when 1 circle is completed, and 1 circle is completed in about 1 minute. After the progress was over, Nana prompted again, Sir, this is your first time producing a unit. Please choose the soldier race? Oh. Is there another word about race? Yes, because you are from the Qin and Han dynasties, the soldiers you produce are from the Qin and Han dynasties by default. Do you want to modify it? Without modification, the Qin and Han natives will be fine. Yi Fan didn't want to create a group of foreign soldiers, which would be difficult to explain to others in the future. Is this soldier a real person or a robot? They are all real people, and each soldier has a unique identity. If you search carefully, you can even find these identities. However, they have all turned into zombies. Our red alert soldiers all appear with their identities when they were alive. And the face has been slightly adjusted, so even if it is seen by a familiar person, it will not be easily recognized. This relieves one of Yi Fan's worries. If the soldiers are all robots, then in the long run, they will be discovered sooner or later, and it will be difficult to explain then. Where is the wisdom of a soldier? Is it the same as a real person? Ordinary soldiers have low intelligence, but they can carry out simple communications and orders, and they will not take the initiative to communicate with other people. Only after soldiers rise to stars, their intelligence will gradually increase. Officers can now communicate with your soldiers. Nana paused for a moment, and then Yifan heard footsteps coming from the bedroom. At first he thought there were zombies again and hurriedly raised his gun, but it turned out that was not the case. A man about the same height as Yifan came out of the room. He looks about 20 years old, has a cold face, wears a military green camouflage hat on his head, and is also wearing camouflage clothing. He has an epaulet on his shoulder with an inverted obtuse angle pattern on it. Military hook leather shoes and an armed belt are all standard equipment. The most important thing is that this soldier is holding a submachine gun in his hand. As a military fan, Yifan recognized it at a glance. It was a domestically produced Type 56 submachine gun, which was also an automatic rifle. This gun is many years old. It is based on the AK-47 and was named after my country made some simple changes. The actual performance is almost the same as that of the AK. High power, long range, strong recoil, low accuracy, easy to maintain and not easy to damage. Although it was a gun made many years ago, it is still used by troops today. When they arrived in front of Yifan, the soldiers stood at attention and saluted Yifan with a standard military salute. "Private Wang Hu, I've seen the commander." Yifan was stunned for a moment. This was the first time in his 20 years of life that he had enjoyed such treatment. Instinctively responded with a military salute, and then asked, "Your name is Wang Hu?" "Wang Hu." He is from County B, City H, with the rank of private. "Private? Not a mobilization soldier?" "Sir, we have made slight adjustments. Because the lowest rank in our country's military service is private, all mobilization soldiers produced are called privates." Yifan understood that this time the red alert system was adjusted according to the military system of the Qin and Han dynasties. The ranks of soldiers were all based on regular troops, and mobilization soldiers were private soldiers. The name has been changed, but the actual functions should be the same. Looking at the revolver in his hand, and then at Wang Hu's 56 punch, Yifan felt a little jealous. "Wang Hu, is your gun easy to use?" "Sir, my gun uses 7.62 by 39 mm bullets. It has a magazine capacity of 30 rounds. It is effective within a kilometer. The magazine is refreshed every 24 hours. The gun itself will not have any mechanical failure." "Only 30 rounds?" "Report, the number of star-raising bullets will increase." "What if your gun is obtained or used by someone else?" Each red alert soldier's weapon is specialized and can be used by others. It is a normal firearm that needs to be loaded and will wear out. "Then how's your marksmanship?" "Before the star rises, my marksmanship is average, but as the star rises, my marksmanship will get better and better. After reaching 3 stars, I will be at the level of the national shooting team." Hearing this, Yifan was very satisfied. As expected of a system product, it is much better than ordinary firearms. The magazine recovery function alone can kill most firearms in the world instantly. It's okay if your marksmanship is not very good for the time being, as long as there is enough room for improvement. And Yifan also saw that there was a sharp 3-edged military bayonet on this gun. The military thorn is a weapon that any boy would like. Looking at the glistening blood groove, one can see how lethal this thing will be when it stabs someone. Will you still fight with a bayonet? Yes, every red alert soldier is an excellent warrior. Whether it is bayonet fighting or hand-to-hand combat, one can fight too. As the star rises, the combat effectiveness will continue to increase. Yifan was overjoyed. He originally thought he was mobilizing a weakling, but he didn't expect that he turned out to be an excellent warrior. In this way, my personal safety in the last days is initially guaranteed. Very good, Private Wang Hu, you will follow me from now on and be responsible for protecting my safety. Wang Hu snapped and stood at attention, understood. Protecting the safety of the commander is the highest mission of every red police soldier. Your will is the entire meaning of our existence. Looking at the infinitely loyal soldiers in front of him, Yifan drifted away at this moment. Chapter 6 Combat Effectiveness of Mobilized Soldiers. Yi Fan circled around Wang Hu again and found that there was a backpack behind the soldier. This backpack is not like my commander's backpack. It contains a sleeping bag, a water bottle, a small pack of compressed biscuits and a bottle of canned meat. Is this all you eat? Reporting to the commander, each soldier refreshes one meal of rations every day, which can sustain life. If you want to keep the soldiers healthy, the commander needs to provide more food. Yi Fan finally understood that the higher the status, the greater the responsibility. It seems that it is still necessary to collect supplies in the last days, otherwise how will we support more and more armies in the future? Since he came to the 6th floor, he naturally couldn't go back empty-handed. Yi Fan started collecting supplies here. Money is no longer useful to Yi Fan. What he needs now is gold, silver, and food. There is no gold or silver here. Yi Fan searched around the room and found 2 bottles of white wine, some rice and flour, some fresh vegetables and some beef and mutton. There are even seafood hot pot base ingredients and some seafood meatballs. It seems that this family is preparing to eat hot pot. There was only 1 bucket of water in 1 cubic meter of space, so Yi Fan simply stuffed all the food into it, occupying nearly 1/3 of the space. I also found several boxes of Tianzi brand cigarettes and collected them together. He knew that he couldn't stay here forever. Now that he had a private to protect him, he could try to clean out all the residents in this unit building. For nothing else, finding gold and silver is the key. Wang Hu, can you break open the security door? If you are allowed to shoot, it will take 10 seconds to complete. If you do not allow shooting, you will need tools to complete it. What tools are needed? Lock-picking tools? Sir, ordinary soldiers are not proficient in unlocking skills and can only violently break down doors. Hammers, fire axes, etc. can be used. Yi Fan thought for a moment. Although he had a soldier, he still didn't want to do anything like shooting. Because it is in a residential area and there are a lot of zombies nearby, shooting will definitely attract zombies. It shouldn't be a big problem to use a fire axe in the corridor. The key is that he doesn't have tools like a fire axe. It is impossible for other residents to have it in their homes. This thing can only be found in the property management company. The community where Yi Fan lives is composed of 6 old-fashioned residential buildings. He is in the 5th building. The property is located at the gatekeeper of the 4th building, not far from here. But looking at the more than 20 zombies in the yard, Yi Fan hesitated. Can we deal with these zombies without shooting? Sir, I have a bayonet here. You are responsible for covering me. I will try it by relying on the corridor door. Okay, let's go. Yi Fan took Wang Hu down the stairs and came to the door of the unit. When they passed by the corridor, Yi Fan would knock on the door from door to door. The roars of zombies were immediately heard in some rooms, but the doors were locked. The zombies did not know how to open the door, so they could only flap in vain inside the door, but could not rush out. There was no movement at all. It was probably because the person was not at home, or the person was still alive. There is no sound when people are not at home, and people would not dare to open the door if they were alive. Yi Fan marked the houses that were silent so that they could not enter easily. When I reached the corridor on the 2nd floor, I looked down and saw that there were only 2 zombies wandering within 5 meters of the unit door. Sir, you are right here at the window on the 2nd floor. If there is a zombie attack and approaches me, you can shoot and we will return home in the worst case. Okay, be careful. Wang Hu came to the door of the unit on the 1st floor and opened the door. Hearing the sound, a male zombie slowly turned his head. After seeing Wang Hu, the zombie's eyes suddenly turned scarlet, and its desire for food made it roar and pounce on him. The zombies moved slowly, but the attack was so powerful that Yi Fan's heart was in his throat when he looked at it on the 2nd floor. But he saw Wang Hu pick up the gun in his hand and stabbed him with his bayonet. Hit the eye socket accurately, and with black blood splattering, the zombie fell to the street without saying a word. The 3-edged military thorn actually penetrated the zombie's skull directly and came out from the back of the head. Wang Hu raised his foot and kicked the zombie out. The whole process happened smoothly and took less than 3 seconds. Another male old man zombie also reacted at this time and approached Wang Hu staggeringly. Wang Hu stepped forward, swung his bayonet again, and killed the zombie with one blow in a standard assassination posture common in the army. 2 zombies were killed in a row, which also alerted the nearby zombies. Suddenly, 7 or 8 zombies came towards this side. Wang, who didn't want to fight, turned around and closed the door and returned to the second floor. Yi Fan looked at Wang, who differently. Where is the promised mobilization of weak chickens? Why is he so powerful? No need to shoot, just kill the zombies one by one. So simple. Yi Fan found it incredible that the zombies that he couldn't deal with all his strength were solved so easily. Sir, in fact, zombies are slow in movement. Apart from the threat of long-term terror and viruses, they are really nothing. As long as you overcome the fear in your heart and face it calmly, it is not difficult to kill. As a red alert soldier, he doesn't know what terror is, so he naturally doesn't feel dangerous, but Yi Fan feels that he may still need to practice. Wang, who continued, Sir, as our commander, he will definitely be much stronger than us. This is not flattery, but the instinctive admiration and respect for the supreme commander as a red police soldier. Of course, Yi Fan couldn't show timidity at this time and nodded calmly, well, of course I have no problem. When I was in school, my classmates respectfully called me the cold-faced killer. Wang, whose eyes really showed admiration, it sounds very strong. If you dare to call this name, you should have the strength of a special operations team member. Yi Fan nodded and turned around calmly, with a slight blush on his face. The name Cold-Faced Killer does exist, but it is just a short name. The full name is Big Bowl of Cold Noodle Killer. Eat 5 bowls at a time and shock the whole crowd. Of course, this name cannot be known to his subordinates. The commander's image as a wise and powerful commander must be maintained. Looking down from the edge of the window on the second floor, the zombies did not find the 2 people hiding in the corridor, but instead ate up the corpses of their 2 companions on the ground. Zombies may never feel full. They eat faster than a lion. Surrounded by more than a dozen zombies, 2 zombies were eaten in less than 10 minutes. After eating, the zombies returned to their unconscious state and continued to wander around the yard. Yi Fan had better eyesight and saw 2 female zombies nearby, both with jewelry on their hands. Wang, who, kill these 2 zombies and get all their jewelry back. Execution, sir. Wang, who left the corridor again and approached the 2 zombies. The female zombies are relatively smaller. Wang, who appeared at the door of the unit, and the 2 zombies pounced on them at the same time. Wang, who once again demonstrated his powerful personal force. He first swept out with one leg and knocked back the zombie in front of him. Then he quickly followed up and killed a female zombie with one knife. When the fallen zombie just got up, he went over and stabbed the zombie to death on the ground. Every cut is extremely precise. By the time the zombies over there heard the noise and came over again, Wang, who had already collected all the jewelry from the 2 female zombies and quickly ran back to the corridor. Yi Fan took the jewelry with satisfaction, and Nana's prompt came immediately. Precious metals were discovered, which can be converted into system money. It has been converted, and 62 money was obtained. The total number of money owned by the leader is 79. With the mobilization of troops, money began to increase rapidly without Yi Fan taking action himself. With another 21 gold, he can produce a second mobilization soldier. When the 2 of them cooperate, it will be absolutely easy to get the fire axe. Chapter 7 Rise to the Star. Yi Fan and Wang, who were in the corridor watching the zombies eating below. Yi Fan discovered that one of the tall male zombies ate very quickly. Other zombies were unable to grab it, and they continuously devoured a large amount of flesh and blood, making this zombie's eyes become increasingly red. Yi Fan felt a little uneasy. This zombie looks a bit strong? Wang, who also stared at the male zombie and said, Sir, this zombie is stronger than the other zombies. After careful inspection, it is true that during the fight, this zombie could push the female zombie away by waving its claws, and even swept an old lady zombie into a rolling gourd. It was obviously much stronger. Living zombies will not kill each other, but they will eat their dead companions. This is good, at least it reduces pollution, but eating more may make you stronger. Yi Fan doesn't know if zombies will evolve, but this male zombie obviously has some signs of it. The skin on his body is slightly darker than the others, which is a little different. We can't let him develop. Wang, who, can you kill him? It should be possible, but you may need to shoot. Yi Fan looked around the community and realized that shooting would attract a lot of zombies. When he was hesitating, gunfire suddenly came from a distance. It seems that on the other side of the street, there is the roar of cars and the sound of gunshots. Although the gunshots were not intensive, they sounded frequently. It is obvious that some survivors want to break out of this area. Yi Fan's place is not considered an urban area, but is on the outskirts of the city. It is not impossible to rush out. The sound of gunshots caused agitation among the nearby zombies. Yi Fan saw zombies running towards the direction of the gunshots on the street in the distance. Only the zombies in the community yard were still eating and were not attracted by the gunfire. About a few minutes later, a huge explosion came from the street in the distance, and then the gunfire died down. The sound attracted more zombies, which allowed Yi Fan to see an opportunity. Wang Hu, it should be no problem to shoot now, the zombies have gone over there. Wang Hu immediately stretched out the barrel of the gun from the corridor window on the second floor. The zombies are only about 10 meters away from them. At this distance, Yi Fan is confident that Wang Hu will not miss. Bang! The Type 56 gun sprayed out a tongue of flame and knocked down a eating zombie with one shot. The huge lethality directly exploded the zombie's head like a rotten watermelon, and the scene was extremely shocking. Good marksmanship. Yi Fan was very happy. Wang Hu turned back slightly embarrassed. I originally wanted to fight that big zombie. Yi Fan. It was a mistake just now, but it won't happen this time. Wang Hu took aim again, but unfortunately the taller zombie was already alert and his body swayed. Wang Hu missed again with his shot. The Type 56 submachine gun is an imitation of the AK-47. It is basically the same as the AK. At such a short distance, the lethality caused is extremely huge. But this shot obviously did not achieve that effect. A shot hit the shoulder. The tall zombie staggered but did not fall. Not only did I gain strength, but I also gained weight. Continuous shooting made these zombies stop eating, stand up with teeth and claws, and rush toward the second floor window. The tall zombie even rushed to the door and hit the unit door hard, making a rumbling sound. The quality of the unit doors in old-fashioned residential areas is not very good, and they will be damaged quickly if they continue like this. And the view is blocked by the rain eaves in front of the unit door, making it impossible to shoot. Wang Hu immediately said to Yi Fan, "Sir, I'll jump down and divert these zombies away." As a red police soldier, he regards protecting Yi Fan as his bounden duty, and sacrificing himself is simply a trivial matter. Yi Fan quickly glanced downstairs and pointed at one of the middle-aged female zombies. "Knock it down, and then take these zombies to the gate of the community. I will find someone to cooperate with you immediately." Without saying a word, Wang Hu raised his gun and fired another shot. This time he finally acted normally. He shot the female zombie in the head with one shot, and then immediately jumped out of the second-floor window. Seeing Wang Hu come out, more than 20 zombies immediately followed them with roars, and the speed was not too slow. Wang Hu ran very fast, and occasionally took the opportunity to turn around and shoot, but as a mobilized soldier without stars, he was really not qualified to be a sharpshooter. Looking back 3 or 4 times, I knocked down a zombie. Fortunately, he finally led the zombie group away, and Yi Fan immediately rushed out of the corridor and came to the female zombie. A gold bracelet on his wrist is his goal. With a gentle touch of the finger, Nana in the body is immediately triggered, without any reminder, and immediately converts the gold bracelet into system money. This bracelet is not light, weighing more than 30 grams. Yi Fan's system gold increased from 79 to 112. "Nana, produce a mobilization soldier for me immediately." "As you wish, my sir." A minute later, another soldier came out of the corridor. "Private Li Biao, I've seen the commander." This private is slightly shorter than Wang Hu, about 1.78 meters, and he also has a tough look on his face. It seems that he is born to be a soldier. The same Type 56, the same military backpack, another good man. Immediately go to meet Wang Hu and cooperate with him in the battle. Clear. Li Biao immediately rushed out of the corridor. When Wang Hu saw Li Biao coming out, he immediately pulled the zombie in circles in the yard. The zombies with low intelligence did not understand tactics and only knew how to run with Wang Hu, which gave Li Biao the opportunity to shoot calmly. Bang bang. Style 56 kept spitting out tongues of fire, and zombies kept falling to the ground. Wang Hu also fired sporadically from the front. The two of them attacked from the front and back, and the number of zombies became less and less. There were only 2 left, including the tall zombie. I'm almost out of bullets, Wang Hu said loudly. I have 3 more rounds. The 2 men raised their guns again, and it took 3 shots to knock down another zombie. One person still had 1 bullet, and Yi Fan immediately told them to run this way. 2 people ran over with the zombie, and Yi Fan opened fire on the 2nd floor. The revolver fired continuously, and all 6 bullets poured out. Yi Fan hit one of the zombie's legs, hitting 3 of the 6 bullets, and finally made several holes in the zombie's leg. Li Biao fired a shot from behind, and the zombie staggered and slowed down. Wang Hu went over and kicked him, and the zombie's legs finally broke. But the moment he fell, the zombie jumped forward fiercely, and its black nails scratched across Wang Hu's chest. Blood gushed out. Wang Hu staggered forward, turned around and saw the zombie falling to the ground, and immediately shot him in the head again. This time he didn't miss, he shot directly to the head and died. He didn't even care about his injuries and immediately collected jewelry with Li Biao. Several zombies that mainly wore jewelry had been collected. This wave of gains was not big, and only 13 units of money were brought back to Yi Fan. Yi Fan hurriedly asked Wang and Hu to follow him upstairs, took out his medical kit, and injected Wang Hu with antiviral serum. Wang Hu's face was a little gloomy at first, but he recovered quickly after being injected with the serum. The wound on the chest was very shallow and has scabbed over now, so it has no impact. In the apocalypse, serum is definitely a very important thing. It can save people before they become 50% zombies. This is a squad leader level effect. Yi Fan let out a sigh of relief. Although we didn't get the fire axe and we ran out of bullets, fortunately we cleaned up the zombies downstairs, which is a bit of a gain. Unexpectedly, Wang Hu suddenly stood up and said, "Sir, Private Wang Hu has been promoted to a first-class soldier, that is, a 1-star soldier. He has new bullets." "Oh, you've risen to the stars." Yi Fan felt happy, looked at Wang Hu a few times, and immediately saw that there was something extra on him. There are 2 more magazines on the armed belt. Every red alert soldier is born, and the gun is automatically full of ammunition, but if you run out of shots, it will be gone. You have to wait for a refresh. Or just look for rifle bullets, but that stuff is too hard to find and can only be found in the military area. 30 rounds of bullets are too few. I dare not shoot at all, because it will attract zombies and the bullets will be used up quickly. Unexpectedly, after rising to the star level, there would be 2 more magazines. Why did you rise to stardom so quickly? According to the Red Alert rules, when we kill units with 3 times the value of ourselves, we can upgrade the star. Yi Fan immediately counted the number of Wang Hu's kills and felt something was wrong. Wang Hu explained, each zombie is worth about 10 gold. I need to kill 30 zombies to upgrade to 1 star. I just killed 21 zombies, and the value of the big zombie reached 100 gold, that's why I will be promoted to star. Only then did Yi Fan understand that the tall zombies obviously showed signs of evolution, so the value of killing them was higher. The magazines are all fully loaded. Yes, sir, after becoming a private, the number of bullets I can use every day has reached 90 rounds, and my shooting accuracy has increased by 50%. Yi Fan has seen Wang Hu's shooting skills, which were as close as 10 or 20 meters away. Sometimes he couldn't hit the head, but now he is probably much stronger. What about other aspects? Has it been improved? My melee combat ability has improved. I can fight 3 ordinary people with 1 person. Hearing Wang Hu's introduction, Yi Fan was very satisfied. With a superior soldier and 90 rounds of ammunition, he can now get the fire axe. Chapter 8 Supply Box. Yi Fan's community is about 100 meters away from the property. This time Wang Hu and Li Biao let him stay here, and the 2 of them teamed up to get the fire axe. After going downstairs, they got on Yi Fan's sidecar motorcycle. Li Biao's gun was out of bullets, so he acted as the driver this time. Wang, who sat in the sidecar, raised his Type 56, and the motorcycle rushed out of the yard. Yi Fan wanted to see their situation, but he was a little anxious. Nana reminded, "Sir, without radar, I can currently monitor the red alert units within 300 meters around me. Within this distance, your perspective can be switched to any red alert soldier. Do you want to switch?" It turns out there is still this function. That's great, switch it to Wang Hu. In Yi Fan's game interface, the main interface was originally dark, but now it lit up immediately. Just like playing a battle game like CS, Yi Fan saw Wang Hu's hand holding the gun. Li Biao's driving skills are very good. After the two people rushed out of the community on their motorcycles, there were many zombies rushing towards them on the roadside. Li Biao accelerated his motorcycle and sped out, throwing away the zombies and rushing to the front of the property. Wang Hu jumped out of the car, smashed the glass with the of his gun and rushed in. Within 10 seconds, he ran out with a fire axe. Getting in the car again, the zombies also approached, and Wang Hu opened fire. After having 90 rounds of ammunition, Wang Hu's shooting frequency increased a lot, and the Type 56 submachine gun really showed its power. As the flames sprayed out, the zombies fell down piece by piece. Although the accuracy of shooting while moving is still not very high, the impact of this gun alone can temporarily knock down zombies. They did not come towards the community, but deliberately drew the zombies away, then suddenly turned and accelerated back to the community. The speed of the motorcycle is fast, so the zombies behind will lose the target after the motorcycle turns. By the time they returned to the community, there were less than 20 zombies behind them. Being able to achieve such an effect makes Yi Fan very satisfied. The two men returned upstairs carrying the fire axe, and they both looked a little tired. "Sir, we need to eat something to replenish our energy." "Okay, what do you want to eat?" Wang Hu and Li Biao took out their dry food from their backpacks, which were compressed biscuits and canned meat. Yi Fan tasted it and felt that the taste was not very good. It could only satisfy the hunger, not a delicacy. "Is this what you're going to eat?" "Yes, this is a meal of rations. One meal a day can keep you alive, but you won't be full." "Do any of you know how to cook?" Yi Fan didn't really want to cook either. "Sir, we are all combatants. We don't have the skills to cook, and we can't learn how to cook." Li Biao basically didn't speak when Wang Hu spoke, and Wang Hu always took the lead. This may be because he was born first. "Do you want me to cook all your meals from now on?" Yi Fan didn't want his soldiers to have to eat dry food every day. Wang Hu said that it was just one meal's rations. Red Alert soldiers are also real people, and they also need to eat, sleep and rest, but their rest time is shorter. They can fall into deep sleep when they lie down. 4 hours a day is enough. Wang Hu couldn't answer this question, so Nana answered it for Yi Fan in her mind. "Sir, when you obtain the authority of the company commander, there will be an additional cooking class in the production sequence, so you won't have to cook by yourself." "Company commander? My company hasn't reached the level of platoon commander yet." "Then the commander may be able to accept some survivors and help you cook." Yi Fan shook his head instinctively. He didn't even think about accepting survivors, at least he didn't have this ability yet. Because he was so anxious that he wanted to leave here as soon as possible, return to his hometown thousands of miles away to see his parents, and then go to the school where his sister was studying to find his sister. He plans to have more than one squadron and leave when he is promoted to platoon leader. Now it seems that it will take a few days. In desperation, Yi Fan got up to cook. Yi Fan was able to eat. He cooked 3 times the amount of food he needed, but these 2 red police soldiers also opened his eyes. 1 pot of rice and 2 large dishes, easy to prepare, and you don't even look too full. "You have a big appetite." "Sir, the appetite of each red police soldier is twice that of an ordinary adult man. Of course, it is still slightly inferior to the chief," Wang Hu said with an admiring tone. Yi Fan coughed and didn't say much on this issue. Wang Hu and Li Biao were full and immediately prepared to collect gold and silver in the community. "Let's deal with the zombies downstairs first, and let Li Biao be upgraded to a 1-star private." Yi Fan gave the order, and the 2 soldiers went downstairs. In order to no longer attract the attention of the zombies, they tried their best to kill them with bayonets. two people work together to knock down the zombies, and then Li Biao kills them. Although the speed is a bit slower, it seems to have no risk. Every red alert soldier is an excellent warrior. He will not underestimate the enemy, will not advance rashly, and will not make mistakes. The number of zombies is decreasing little by little. As night fell, the zombies in the yard were finally cleared away. Li Biao finally completed his star promotion and became a first-class soldier. At night, Yi Fan watched from upstairs that the zombies on the other side of the street began to become active, and he ordered Wang and Hu to withdraw. Zombies are like wild beasts and are obviously more active at night. He is currently weak in strength, so it is best not to go out. Wang and Hu came back and brought some harvest to Yi Fan, 122 yuan of money. There are more than 20 zombies, about half of whom are women. Some of the child zombies have no jewelry. These jewelry were collected from 7 or 8 people. The people here are not rich. When they become more powerful, they will still go to gold shops and banks, or at least to some wealthy areas. In the company where Yi Fan works, there is even a gold bull ornament on the boss's desk. That one weighs 2 kilograms. If you can get it, you can directly attack more than 20 soldiers, and you will not be afraid of anything. It's just that the company is a bit far away, and Yi Fan doesn't have the strength to get there now. Wang Hu and Li Biao automatically assigned tasks without command. The two took turns taking breaks to ensure that one person was on duty to ensure Yi Fan's safety. Looking at the loyal soldiers walking gently by the window in front of the door, loaded with guns and ammunition, Yi Fan felt for the first time that the end of the world was not a bad thing. But this night was not peaceful. The roars of zombies kept coming from outside. It is now the third night of the apocalypse, and Yi Fan can occasionally hear screams coming from outside. The screams were obviously coming from humans. They must have been found by zombies, or they were trying to escape from the city but failed. I watched from the window that the street lights were still on at night, and the roads were filled with abandoned cars, all of which were people who were anxious to get out of the city. The city is a paradise for zombies. Everyone wants to escape, but all the cars are blocked on the road, making it difficult for most people to walk. They can only leave on their own feet. In the end, they either become food or become a member of the zombies. Zombies are like wild beasts and are more active at night. Some survivors tried to escape under the cover of night, but ended up with no trace of their bodies left. You must leave as soon as possible. The longer you delay, the more dangerous it will be for your parents. Based on the door-smashing activities today, Yi Fan determined that about 70% of the people turned into zombies. Blue Starfish is an extremely huge planet with a population of nearly 100 billion, of which the Qin and Han dynasties had a population of 15 billion. Most of the people have mutated, and many of the survivors have been eaten and infected. As a result, the number of zombies may account for more than 80% of the population. In the future, survivors will be infected or die, and there will be fewer and fewer living people. However, the initial mutation probability is not particularly high, so the parents and sister still have a good chance of being alive. Now that there are red alert soldiers, even if there is only 1 in 1,000% chance, Yi Fan must go back and take a look. After sleeping until about 2 o'clock in the morning, Yi Fan heard Nana's prompt. "Sir, a supply box was found 210 meters east of you." Yi Fan, who had been sleeping in a daze, suddenly woke up. "Nana, what did you say?" "A supply box has been refreshed 210 meters east of you. The storage time is 48 hours. Please get it as soon as possible, sir." Yi Fan suddenly became energetic. The supply box is a good thing. In the Red Alert game, various items are randomly drawn from supply boxes. Sometimes it is possible to turn on a fully brightened spy satellite and display it in full screen without using any electricity. Sometimes tanks, soldiers, and maybe even base vehicles are brought out. There are also money, things like rising stars, random refreshes, everything. It is estimated that there are more such things in the real world, and Yi Fan is determined to get the supply box. Chapter 9. Let's brush up first. "Nana, how did you find the supply box?" "I haven't built the radar yet." "Sir, I can automatically sense red alert units within a radius of 300 meters, but I can't sense others. The supply box also belongs to the red alert unit. I can only sense it within this range. If you build a radar, the sensing range will be increased to a radius of 5,000 meters, and you can also view it through the system. Yi Fan nodded. Radar must be built. When he upgrades to platoon leader, he will save money to build radar. I'm 210 meters east, let me take a look. Yi Fan came to the window. The street lights were dark, but he could still feel the location based on his memory. To the east, 210 meters, it should be in that building. Where is the location? Supply boxes are located from the first to the second floor. From the first floor to the second floor, that should be the supermarket in the community. There is a medium-sized supermarket in the community, about 600 square meters, with 2 floors. It seems to be called Fruit Industry. At noon, there should be at least about 30 people in the supermarket, including salespersons and customers. Moreover, the supermarket is close to the street, and there should be many zombies nearby, so this task is not easy. In the red alert interface, a supply box refresh countdown appears. It was night now and it was inconvenient to go out, so Yi Fan lay down and continued to sleep. It was time for Wang Hu and Li Biao to change shifts. They opened the sleeping bags in the backpacks behind them and got in, sleeping directly on the ground. What a good warrior! Yi Fan fell asleep again with a smile on his face. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I got up to make breakfast and cooked some vegetables that I had collected. The 3 of them were full and ready for action. A new day has begun. Because the supply box takes 48 hours to refresh, Yi Fan is not in a hurry to pick it up. Now he only has 2 soldiers, and his strength is still a bit weak. He must at least collect the gold and silver in the unit building to strengthen him. Let's talk about strength. With Wang Hu and Li Biao, Yi Fan began to clean up the room with zombies. With the fire axe in hand, opening the door becomes easier. Li Biao is holding a fire axe and can split the security door open in 3 or 4 strokes. His power is astonishing. The moment the door opened, the 2 men fixed their bayonets and sniped at the zombies trying to rush out. This community is full of small bungalow houses. Generally, 3 zombies in a home are considered too many, and most of them only have 1 or 2 zombies. Such a number did not pose a threat to the 2 superior soldiers at all. At first, Yi Fan was still on guard with a revolver, but soon he found that he was not needed, so he simply followed behind to pick up gold and silver jewelry. From working in the morning until around 10 o'clock in the morning, Yi Fan collected a total of more than 260 yuan. Including the little leftover from yesterday, he already has 280 gold in his hand. However, both Wang Hu and Li Biao are still superior soldiers and have not been upgraded. To upgrade from private to superior soldier, you need to kill 30 zombies, and to upgrade from superior soldier to corporal, you need to kill 90 zombies. This unit building was finally emptied by Yi Fan. In fact, nearly half of the houses have not been cleaned up. Because there was no movement in those houses and it was not known whether there were survivors, Yi Fan did not rush to break down the door. Although we have arrived at the end of the world, Yi Fan doesn't know how long this end of the world will last. Whether civilized society would be restored in the future, before he was sure of this, he still had some concerns. Nana, produce 2 more mobilization soldiers for me. Soon, 2 new soldiers appeared from the corridor. In this way, Yi Fan has 4 soldiers under his command, including 2 superior soldiers and 2 private soldiers. A first-class soldier has 90 rounds of ammunition and a private has 30 rounds of ammunition. The number of bullets at his disposal reaches 240 rounds. 246 rounds to be precise, because he also had a revolver. The strength has become much stronger, and I can almost go to the supermarket to have a look. For soldiers, Wang Hu opened the way in front. Yi Fan deliberately asked Wang Hu to kill as many zombies as possible in order to be promoted to corporal as soon as possible. 2 recruits followed Wang Hu, while Li Biao protected Yi Fan from behind. The group of 5 people walked towards the supermarket. Because the distance is close, there is no need to ride a motorcycle. If the situation is bad, you can run away at any time. After exiting the quiet street, there is a service road in front, and the supermarket where the supply box is located is diagonally across the road. Using the cover of the corner, Yi Fan looked over there and saw a hellish scene in front of the supermarket. Not to mention the abandoned cars on the road, he even saw a lot of bones in the supermarket. A rough estimate puts the number of bones in the hundreds. And just in front of the supermarket, there are dozens of zombies wandering around. It seems that some people wanted to go to the supermarket to collect supplies, but no one succeeded, otherwise there wouldn't be so many zombies. Sir, there are a lot of zombies here. If you don't shoot, there may be casualties. Well, you are allowed to shoot, but be careful to save bullets. Clear. Yesterday, seeing Wang Hu lure away the zombies alone, Yi Fan became more courageous. The place he was in was on the outskirts of the city and the population was not particularly dense, so the problem should not be too big. Li Biao stayed to protect Yi Fan, while Wang Hu led the other two people towards the supermarket. They quickly climbed onto the roof of a small truck. Fire! Wang Hu gave the order and the three men shot at the same time. The banging of gunshots began to echo. Each zombie was hit. Under the huge power of Type 56, some of the heads burst directly, and some were biased. They would also beat a hole in their bodies, or fold their legs. Hearing the gunfire, the zombies in front of the supermarket immediately became restless. They roared and rushed toward the pickup truck, but they didn't know how to climb onto the truck and could only wave their claws underneath. Wang Hu and others have no fear. The zombies are closer, which makes them easier to kill. If there were only these dozens of zombies, Yi Fan believed that a few of them could destroy them all. But gunshots rang out, and soon more zombies began to pour out of the surrounding shops and supermarkets. Soon the number of zombies exceeded 100, and a large black mass surrounded the small truck. This is the first crisis Yi Fan has encountered since he got the red alert soldiers. There are too many zombies. The height of the small truck is not very high. After dozens of zombies fell, some zombies were able to reach the top of the truck. No, I'm afraid Wang Hu and the others don't have enough bullets. Among the three people, only Wang Hu has 90 rounds of bullets. His hit rate has improved, but it is impossible for every shot to hit. To upgrade from 1 star to 2 stars, you need to kill 90 zombies. His bullets are not enough to upgrade the star. The two privates only have 30 rounds, which is not enough to upgrade. The number of zombies is increasing, and if this continues, the entire army may be annihilated. Li Biao, support them. Sir, what about your safety? It's okay, I'll stay here and won't go out. The zombies are attracted to you. I'm safe. Go ahead. Yes. Li Biao immediately followed from behind, raised his gun and fired. With internal and external cooperation, the pressure on Wang Hu was suddenly reduced a lot. But it's still not enough to clean up in front of the supermarket. However, the number of zombies has decreased somewhat, and Yi Fan immediately issued an order to retreat. Keep a certain number of bullets and get back quickly. Wang Hu and others received the order. Wang Hu replaced the third magazine and fired a burst of fire. Only a few bullets were left. Finally, a small open space was cleared, and the three people quickly retreated. Zombies roared in pursuit from behind. Li Biao opened fire to cover, and several people began to rush out with their bayonets red. Yi Fan also fired a few shots with his revolver, and 5 bullets knocked down a zombie, which was somewhat effective. The red alert soldiers showed strong combat effectiveness and did not panic in times of crisis. They just rushed out of the zombies, ran back to the 5th floor in one breath, and locked the security door. Zombies are not as fast as humans. After all, the community is safe and they escaped without being blocked. There is a security door blocking it, so it is safe for the time being. The zombies lost their target. I don't know where a few people went, wandering in the courtyard and corridors of the community. What's the number of bullets you have? Report, I have 5 rounds left. Wang Hu said first. I have 22 rounds left. This is Li Biao's. The other 2 privates each had only 1 round left. It's still a bit careless. The strength of 4 people is not enough to ensure safety in this area. Looking at his money, the number was 91. If he could collect all the gold and silver jewelry from the zombies in the supermarket, he should be able to add at least 3 more soldiers, which would be close to a squad. Let's wait until 12 o'clock at noon. After 12 o'clock, our bullets can be refreshed. It will be fine by then. This is the advantage of red alert. If you can't get rid of it once, refresh it and try again. Let's eat first, and then it's time to eat. Let's go after we finish eating. Yi Fan started to cook and prepare for the meal. They retreated from here. On the second floor of the supermarket, someone quietly opened a corner of the closed curtain. Chapter 10 Survivors. Brother Zhao, those soldiers ran away. On the second floor of the supermarket, in the corner of the curtain, a man withdrew his gaze and spoke to a man on the second floor. The man named Zhao Ge is in his 40s, tall and thick-set, with a fierce look on his face. He used to kill pigs and sell meat in the supermarket. When the apocalypse broke out, he happened to be in the supermarket. Facing the zombies, Brother Zhao also showed extraordinary abilities. He used the knife to chop the ribs and chopped them to death. 6 or 7 zombies. There were more than 60 people in the supermarket at that time, and there were about 40 mutated people. Then 8 or 9 people were infected or eaten by zombies. He led the remaining dozen people to the second floor of the supermarket and used debris blocked the stairs. There are a lot of supplies in the supermarket, enough for them to survive for a while. At the beginning, they were still waiting for rescue, but 3 days later, rescue did not appear at all, and there was no internet or TV. Everything was miserable and the situation became worse and worse. But Brother Zhao is not too worried. Because he had a dog with him. This dog is his. It is a Tibetan Mastiff. It is usually in the backyard of the supermarket. He feeds the dog some minced meat, fat, bones, etc. from the slaughtered pigs. After going back and forth, this Tibetan Mastiff has grown fat and strong. Looks twice as big as an ordinary dog. After the end of the world, he ran up to the second floor in a panic, thinking that the dog would definitely be eaten by zombies. Unexpectedly, the dog broke free from the rope and ran after him. The first night, I was worried and scared and didn't notice the dog in the corner. When I calmed down and saw it the next day, Brother Zhao could hardly recognize his dog. This black Tibetan Mastiff has grown a lot and looks almost like a lioness. The claws are also bigger, and the teeth are so long that they are exposed outside the mouth. Everyone who saw this dog was so frightened that they dared not move. This is no longer a normal dog, but a wild beast. This dog showed its powerful ability again. It was able to jump out of the second floor window and continuously killed several zombies below. The zombies couldn't catch up with the dog. It killed the zombies and ate 2 of them, and then returned to the second floor through the window with the help of the box. From that time on, Brother Zhao knew that he was different from others. The supermarket owner wanted to go out to search for rescue, but Brother Zhao objected. The boss mocked him a few times, but he was killed by his dog. Typical example of people fighting against dogs. He also had 2 meat-selling apprentices under him. The 3 of them were the most powerful among the dozen or so people, and they immediately became leaders. From then on, he was the king here. After hearing the report from his young apprentice, Brother Zhao turned back and looked at the remaining survivors. Did you hear that? Several soldiers have run away, and the rescue you were hoping for is gone. A young apprentice helped. Yes, there were only 5 soldiers, 1 who looked like a junior officer, and 4 soldiers. But I observed that they didn't have many bullets anymore, and they managed to escape with great difficulty. Another short and capable young apprentice snorted, "The end of the world has come. You have all seen Resident Evil. It is here now. There is no government and no army. There is nothing now. You can only survive by following strong people. You guys keep your eyes open and be sure to spot it accurately." While the young apprentice was talking, Brother Zhao was still stroking the hair of his Tibetan Mastiff and looking at the survivors with malicious intent. The Tibetan Mastiff is only docile in front of his owner. He looks at other people with a fierce look in his eyes and looks like he might pounce on him and bite him at any time. After biting a person to death, the dog also became bloodthirsty. The dozen or so survivors were afraid to speak. One of them, a man, took the initiative to stand up. He had a gentle look on his eyes. He was probably a former office worker. Lighting a cigarette for Brother Zhao, the man showed a flattering smile. "Brother Zhao, I think you are the powerful person. I, Ma Xiang, will follow you from now on." Well, go up to the road, Xiaosanzi, and send him a crossbow arrow. On the second floor of the supermarket for sporting goods, there were some old crossbows. They were originally intended to be sold, but they were inspected and they were told they were anti-personnel weapons and they were not allowed to be sold, so a batch was confiscated. Fortunately, the boss left a batch behind and packed them at the bottom of the box. As a result, they all became Brother Zhao's personal belongings. The mistress handed the crossbow to Ma Xiang, and Brother Zhao said, "Whether it's a human or a zombie, if anyone comes to this second floor, they will obey my orders. If I ask you to shoot arrows, just shoot them for me." "What if those soldiers come again?" Ma Xiang asked. "Then you must obey my orders, otherwise, you will either become a zombie's dung. Or you will become a black wolf's dung." Tibetan Mastiff's name is Black Wolf, and it does have some wolfish qualities. Several people around him felt chilly. Do you think Brother Zhao still dares to go against a soldier? He is really brave. Brother Zhao used to belong to the bottom of society, a butcher who killed pigs, and no one took him seriously. Now that the apocalypse has broken out, he feels a sense of joy. Among the survivors, there were two relatively wealthy ones, a man and a woman. The man's big gold chain was as thick as a dog leash, so he should have brought it himself. That woman is in her early 20s and is pretty and fresh. Is she better than me? It's just that these survivors are still thinking about rescue and restoring the previous order, and they don't care when it will be. Although the few soldiers have guns in their hands, they are too few in number. Even if they arrive at the supermarket and do calculations mentally or not, with their swords, crossbows and arrows plus this dog, they have a great chance of becoming soldiers. Get rid of it. In this world, when a person dies, he or she dies, and there are no possible sequelae. As long as they get those guns, even if the number of bullets is less, these survivors will understand the situation clearly. He even looked out the window expectantly, wondering why the soldiers hadn't come yet. After dinner, the time came to 12 o'clock. Including Yi Fan, everyone's equipment has been refreshed. Looking at the 6 yellow-orange bullets in the revolver, Yi Fan was very satisfied. Although it is not comparable to the equipment of soldiers, do you think any officer also fights with a submachine gun? The commander is the king, he likes it. Get ready to go to the supermarket again. There are not many zombies there anymore. You should be able to clean them up if you try it again. The 4 soldiers stood up and prepared to go out. When they ran back, they ran all the way and pulled the zombies into a line. Now there are them in the corridor and in the yard. Yi Fan gave the order to let the other 2 mobilization soldiers kill first. They had already killed more than a dozen zombies before. Let them be upgraded to superior soldiers first. 4 upper-class soldiers have the firepower of 360 rounds of ammunition, so you can sit back and relax at that time. After receiving the order, several soldiers went out. The zombies in the corridor are easy to clean up. There is no need to shoot. The bayonet keeps stabbing and the zombies fall down one by one. After clearing away the zombies in the corridor, Yi Fan only received hardware. Continue to enter the courtyard. There are about 20 zombies here. With the cooperation of 4 soldiers, 20 ordinary zombies really weren't too difficult. They circled around with the help of the cover of the motorcycle, and with the cooperation of Wang Hu and Li Biao, after cleaning up the zombies in the yard, they both finally upgraded to become first-class soldier. Looking at all the private soldiers becoming superior soldiers, Yi Fan felt confident. Wang Hu, how many stars are you still short of? Sir, I still have 46 zombies left to reach the star level. Okay, you'll kill the next zombie first. First, let a few soldiers collect gold and silver. After collecting more than 20 zombies, Yi Fan's money amount reached 136, which was enough to produce 1 mobilization soldier. However, he did not produce it immediately. There were still a lot of zombies and zombie corpses outside. He would wait until they were collected to produce them together. With 4 superior soldiers, Yi Fan left the yard. There seemed to be 70 or 80 zombies in front of the supermarket, but Yi Fan knew that the zombies had lost their fighting potential. Most of the zombies in the surrounding shops have been attracted. After killing them all, there will be only a few left in this section of the street. Move forward, Wang Hu mainly kills, others cover. Wang Hu followed his instructions and started shooting. Only then did the 56 rush show its power. The tongues of flames are constantly spraying out, killing the zombies that come one after another. Occasionally, there will be zombies attracted by the sound of gunfire, but the number is getting smaller and smaller. More than half of the zombies fell to Wang Hu's gun. When there were only 7 or 8 zombies left, a few people stopped shooting and started to kill them with bayonets. By the time we reached the supermarket door, there was not a single standing zombie around. Wang Hu happily ran to Yifan again, reporting to the commander, Private Soldier Wang Hu has been promoted to corporal. Yifan glanced at Wang Hu and found that the magazines on his body changed from 2 to 4. With 4 magazines and the original bullets in the gun, Wang Hu has 150 bullets at his disposal every day. The epaulets also changed, from 2 horizontal bars to 2 crossed rifles and 1 horizontal bar. With a tall and straight body and bulging muscles, the young man who is over 1.8 meters tall stands there with a strong aura rushing towards him.